We've seen global wild. In my lifetime, we've seen global wildlife populations decline by over half. Africa's rapidly growing human population is predicted to more than double by 2050, a staggering increase of 3.5 million people per month. There is no question that this increase puts wildlife and habitats under enormous pressure. We're going to have to work much harder and think much deeper if we are to ensure that human beings and the other species of animal with which we share this planet can continue to coexist. Really, sir? In my lifetime, we've seen global wildlife populations decline by over half. Africa's rapidly growing human population is predicted to more than double by 2050, a staggering increase of 3.5 million people per month. There is no question that this increase puts wildlife and habitats under enormous pressure. We're going to have to work much harder and think much deeper if we are to ensure that human beings and the other species of animal with which we share this planet can continue to coexist. Really, sir?
So, if in case you haven't heard him, I'm not gonna play what this guy says because he goes in a long little rant.
In my lifetime,
So this devil, Prince Williams, sit there that tell the world, I don't know where is this at, doesn't really matter, but he said it publicly, and what he said was that Africa has doubled their population, and they got to do something about that. Told you this man is a devil. Told you this man is all about mass extermination. All right. Everything that these people are, they are death. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And like the scripture says, there shall no peace be given to whom? The wicked. And they don't deserve peace, because all they have in their mind is death. All they represent is death. All right? They are threatened by everyone. They are on a rampage when it comes to their own lives. They can't fathom or even share the world that they live in with the people that they live with, which they're nothing but guests. You know, they're nothing but guests. And here they are, they're telling the people that they don't belong in this world. Can you imagine that? Well, we don't have to imagine it. We can see it. They claim lands to themselves. They rename continents, they rename lands and so forth. They put borders that wasn't there. They take down borders that was there. All right. They did all this devastation on the planet Earth, and yet they sit there and tell the world, there's too many of you guys. Now they want to control who's there, who belongs. Now they want to say who belongs. Well, they're the ones that don't belong. Mainly, they don't belong in a position of power. They could be here, but they gotta be locked away. They don't supposed to be in no position of no power. All right. Now they want to go around telling people that, oh, there's too many of you guys. Even Gates of Hell, he went to India. He loved going to India and tell the Indian people there's too many of y'all guys. All right. And they're sitting there eating that shit up. And they believe the bullshit that the devil says. And what the devil says, the devil tells them that there's so many of them. We could have a better world if we get rid of everybody. You should hate the very poor of the world. You should hate your poor people. And we the rich, we could have it all to ourselves. And have everybody serve us. And the funny thing about it too, I'm just thinking about India right now. They already got like a caste system where they have Yeah, the poor they're just poor. They get treated like shit, straight up. There's like no ifs, ands, buts about it. If you come from a poor family, you got to be a worker. They already have that system. But what more do these people want? You know? But they joint with the devil. They joint with Esau. Oh, first of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and few sisters out there. If I say it, it's always good to. If I said it already, hey, may the Lord bless me twice. But yeah, these devils got to go. Esau, Edom, they got to go. All right? And it's clear as day that I'm going to get it. Habakkuk 2 and 25 and 26. Yeah, because he transgressed by wine. Matter of fact, I'm going to start out with 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. All right? Well, whose soul? Esau's soul. All right? And why is not upright in him? Matter of fact, look up upright. Let me look it up. It should be Kratazak or something like that. Oh, Yashar, sorry. Yashar, right? To be right, be straight, be level, be upright, be just, be lawful. Oh my God. If anything right there, being lawful, so they're the most unlawful beings on the planet Earth. All right. Matter of fact, any law, even the laws that they put in place, they can't go by. So they're not upright. All right. Matter of fact, since I read that, Ecclesiastes 1 and 15, it says the soul. Sorry, I'm in Lamentations. Don't ask me why. Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. So that which is crooked, meaning that he was made to be crooked. All right. The Lord didn't make a mistake. Solomon asks, did the matter of fact, let me get that. So I'm in this chapter anyway. Ecclesiastes 5 and 10, 10 and 5, sorry. There's an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Who's the ruler? The ruler of all things on the planet Earth. Daniel 4:17 tell you that the Lord is in rules in the kingdom of men and set up over it whosoever he pleases, even the bases of men. So the bases of men is what Solomon saw in rulership. All right. And he's like, wait, did the Lord make a mistake? Okay. Is something wrong? The folly set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. So the actual rich are in the lowest place, and those fools, they are on top. All right. And when you go into the word folly, when you look at the etymon, it speaks of mental weakness. So people that are genetically inferior, mentally are mentally inferior as well. So they push a sort of culture of just debauchery, foolishry as the number one thing, form of entertainment, to keep everybody in a low base form as they are. All right. And why they do certain things in the dark, in secret, this is how they overthrow the world. They had to destroy the status quo by deceiving the world. All right. It said, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And to see a servant on a horse and a prince, that's unheard of. There it is. The Wadi Habashim. That's the one that we're looking for. Proverbs 19 and 10. It says, the light is seemingly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. Now, when we go into the word delight, this is a good one too. The Hebrew word is ta'aga, no, ta'anaga, which means daintiness, luxury, exquisite, the delight, pleasantness, delight, comfort, so seemingly to a fool. All right, which the fool of this world is Esau Edom. And it said, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. And we clearly see that under the guidance and the rulership of the powers that be, the world's turned upside down. Here it is, the Lord created man and said it twice. It wasn't just the Israelites, okay? He said, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And here's these people coming around saying, oh, there's too many people. So are you going to believe the God of all things, or are you going to believe man? Well, they're going to say, oh, science says there's going to be less food. And why is there less food? Why is the world the way it is? I was just listening to, what's this guy? I don't even know this guy's channel name. He sometimes be on point, but he's all talk like all of them. What I mean by that is this individual. What his name is? He'll come up right here. The Scholar Talk. All right, this channel, and this is what I was listening to. I'm not gonna play it because he on some shit most of the times. And what I mean by shit, when you have people talking the talking points of this world, I don't want to hear it. All right. Well, science says, science says this is what it. He was trying to call everybody idiot when it changed from global warming to climate change, and it's because of these crazy weather and this is what's going to take place. Well, I'm putting this on a Tuesday, so this is what's going to take place down later on this week. And what's going to take place is it's July. It's going to be July and it's going to be hot. But now they want to make a big deal out of every single fucking situation when it's too hot or too cold in the winter or in the summer, which is kind of ironic. They want to blame it on climate change, saying, "Oh, you see, that proves that it's climate change." And he was basically saying that, like I said, I don't want to play the whole thing, so forgive me. He was basically saying that if it goes beyond over the average, then there's something wrong. Obviously, the scientists are correct, and this, that, to the third. And as much shit that these people talk, when you tell them about the HARP program and how Esau really jacked up the earth, they don't want to hear that. They'll say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy theory." HARP program, you're talking about control, weather, and all sorts of things. Well, these are the things that happens. All right. Now, if it was July and there's there's one area there was a snowstorm, he was making mention, everything's out of whack, which the Lord said was going to be like that. Oh, here's a funny thing about it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can play this. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but
to DC, to Raleigh, degrees Celsius, and now broken again today. So multiple days in a row where it's the highest temperature ever recorded. All right. All tram service suspended. It's unusable. From New York City to Baltimore, to DC, to Raleigh, etc., are in the 103 to 107 degree range. In many cases, the forecast is neck and neck. Add to it high humidity, and if the feels like temps will be near 115 in spots. Take this seriously, folks. It will be dangerous. By the way, right where I am happens to be the worst in the entire country, with a feels like of 113 degrees forecast for Washington, D.C., near all-time records. Okay, now at the same time, we're experiencing massive heat waves all over the place, right? Heat domes that are setting up and just like locking into place. People dying because of excess heat. the average temperature over time going up, 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 up. There's a reason why scientists stopped referring to it as global warming and started referring to it as climate change, because they know there's some low IQ people out there who don't realize that part and parcel.
And that was a part that, like, right then and there when he said that, I was like, there's a lot of things he talks about I don't like talking about the left. When the left gets back in, when the left was running things on, like, it doesn't matter, right or left. These people are corrupt. All right. If you believe in this system, he obviously believes in this system. He believes in the Democrats and all this other shit. But for him to sit there and says the scientists knew that people wouldn't get it, that's why they changed it to climate change instead of global warming. Low IQ people, like, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's drinking the bullshit that they serving. So he ain't no different from everybody else. But I'm going on.
With this is extremes on both ends of the spectrum at any given time. So at the same time, we have 113 degrees here, 99 degrees there, people dying, food growth being interrupted, right? A shortage of water, potential famine lurking, all that horrible stuff at the exact same time. Look at this. Summer snow.
And notice he put the 3 6s up, by the way. Anyway.
Near Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So at the same time we're dealing with that, look at this. This is happening in Wyoming. What the fuck, bro? This is some end of day shit.
Now that's the part I wanted to get. Why? Why did I wanted to stick to that? This is the same guy. This is the same guy who don't believe in the God, in the Most High. All right, that's the one shit I can talk about with this guy. Several times, I've been watching some of his things, and he was like, he's an atheist. He don't believe in gods. So if you're gonna sit there and talk about JC, like, they all use that term when they shocked or whatever feeling that they have, and now you want to use the term of end of times, end of days. That's biblical. All right. So the hypocrisy on these people is astounding. That's why we don't take them. We can't take them serious. The scriptures tell you, Psalms 14:1, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. All right. So they don't believe in anything. They run in this asylum. They cause all this fucking problem. Then they want to sit there and turn around like, oh, it's everybody else's fault. Why are they starving people over here? Well, if they didn't have that much people, no. It's because of their asses. Revelation 6:4, it says, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat there on to take peace from the earth. When you take peace from the earth, what do you have? You have war. All right? And then what's ironically funny about this, not ironically funny, but they love talking about the 4 horsemen this, the 4 horsemen that. And not understanding from these are just events. The first horseman, which is the white horse, is Yahushua coming back. And what is Yahushua doing when he comes back? Who he's taking out? The red horse, the pale horse, and the deaf horse. And the pale horse, red horse, is ran by these people. They're the ones that's going to cause the famine. They're the ones that's causing the wars in the world. All right? And the scripture says, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right? So that's a tall tale. So his soul that's in him is not all right. He's anti-life. Okay? He's against everything that's living. He makes a stink out of everything that's more of abundance. He wants to control every fucking thing. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So you take away peace from your neighbors, your neighboring countries, because you have differences. These people heightened it. Always go to, not the, I'm not gonna be biased. Like I could definitely go to Haiti and the Dominican Republic, but I'm not gonna go to. I go to Pakistan and India, which was once one whole fucking land. One was into Islam, another was into Hinduism. I wonder why. But right after the British left, that's when you had Pakistan and India. Before that, they didn't have that. They just had their differences. They heightened the differences. North Korea, South Korea, they did that. All right, tells you what Proverbs 6 and I believe it's 11 or 12 on down. It speaks about the discourse amongst brethren. 6 things that the Lord hate. And these people are responsible for all the things that goes on. So who the fuck are they to sit there and talk about anything that's about life? They're just nothing but pure death. Going back to this real quick before I lose my train of thought. Habakkuk. That's how you get sick and tired of and listen to these people's talking point because they have no fucking point. You know, they're just against everything that's alive, everything that's living. This is why his spirit is that's within him is not all right. Okay. Hey, the scripture says I'm quoting a lot. I'm gonna quote a lot that they was born speaking lies as soon as they be born. All right. So everything that comes out their mouth is a goddamn lie. It doesn't fit. Why would the Lord create the planet Earth and over a billion, several billions of people on the planet Earth? All of a sudden, it's too much. How about you just don't make a whole bunch of metropolis cities around the world and spread people out in the land? Oh, you won't do that because if people have land, that means they have property. If they have property, you can't take those properties. But if you take everybody, put it into the small places, and then exclude everybody else that has property, and you buy them out or you kill them and take their lands, you could push whatever narrative that you want, and that's exactly what they did. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to this. uh, Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe unto them that devises of iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands." And that's exactly what they did. That's why they passed unrighteous decrees and laws against people. Okay? It says, and they covet fields. What it means to covet. When you covet, you mean you taking somebody else's thing. Like here in America, what is the greatest sin that America, well, the average American does? Adultery. All right, adultery. That's the most greatest thing that is in your music, is in your TVs, is in everything. You take other people's stuff. That's what it's all about. It's about taking other people's stuff. So you take it, before you take it, you think about it. And you think about it, you took it to action. And that's exactly what they did. They covered fields, they covered lands. The land of Africa, which is Africanus, Cyprios Africanus, who named it. All right, they go into lands that doesn't belong to them and they renamed it. Psalms 49:11. And then they're gonna tell, it says, and take them by violence, and that's how they got all their lands. They didn't vote for it, they didn't plead for it, they didn't ask for it nicely. They took it by violence. They stole every goddamn thing. All right? They removed people's landmarks. And the islands, this is why they hitting the islands the way they are. A family can have a land and they could, no matter what generation it is, they could always go back to that land. So what do they do? Well, that's why you have damn, I just had it. When Donald Trump, when he took Venezuela and something else, he called it. Oh, it was the Monroe Doctrine. They call it the Trump Doctrine. Like you can't everything in this hemisphere technically belongs to America. And why they want to go into the islands? They want to go to Cuba after they do this whole thing because they want to take certain restrictions. Carl Schwab made a statement long ago. You shall own nothing and be happy. Well, you have people that have actual land. That's their own. In America, you can't have no land. You own a house, Well, you don't own the property. You're gonna forever pay property taxes. Okay? It says, and they in houses so they take the houses that was built and they take it by force. It says and take away them and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage. So these are the oppressors. All right. This is why in the kingdom of heaven, he gonna own shit. They're not gonna own a goddamn thing. Because here they are, they steal every fucking thing. Everything that they do. Then they want to go into these other lands and tell these people, oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. Motherfucker, who give you the rights to this shit? You know? Oh, we took it by force. And a lot of times they didn't take it by force like they were so powerful. No, they did it by thievery, murder, genocide, uh, um, chemical warfare. All right. That's how they got shit. They ain't doing shit honorable. And now when these nations come over here, they want to cry, go back home, get the fuck out of here. Well, they would go home and stay home if your ass didn't interfere. It says, back in Becca 2 and 4, I just gotta behold, his soul which is lifted up is not a right in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yeah, because he transgresseth by wine. What is his wine? His philosophies. This is why they have these ideas of if a land doesn't have a democratic party or democracy, they archaic. We gotta overthrow them and set the rules. And most countries that have a democratic system or republic system, when you vote for your leaders, is always heavily infiltrated, and governments be overthrown by the U.S. easily, a lot easier than these countries that have dictators, monarchs, and so forth. So this wine that they push around the world, it benefits them. It always has. He says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. So he don't stay in one spot. He goes all over. Who enlarges his desire as hell, it and is as death. It cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. So they're not satisfied with anything. All right. This is why the Prince of England decides to go somewhere in Africa and tell you that the Africans have tripled their um they have tripled their people in a world where resources and so forth is growing. Who the fuck are you to tell these people they're having too much fucking people? And he said, this is why you guys are starving. No, maybe if you stop fucking with their fucking food, all right, polluting the air, allow their food to grow properly, all right. You have organizations as the WHO, who's been talking about famines and so forth for a long period of time, knowing that they're the ones that are responsible for creating those famines because they are the weapons of the Lord. All right. And this man has been in an all-out war against everything that live, telling people who are alive, you need to diminish your numbers. And while the rats that wear small hats, they're increasing their numbers, and it's still not enough. It's still not enough. The rats with small hats can have sex with their women, and they still can't reproduce and catch up to the darker races. That's not our problem thing. That's your problem thing, because you're an inferior race on the planet Earth that's trying to increase its numbers. And then, like the scripture says, was it's I haven't read this in a while. It's 19 or is it Job 12? I think it's 17, but nope. Job 12 and maybe it's not Job 12 chapter. wicked be multiplied. I know I ain't tripping. Oh, maybe it's with the Y. Yeah. Well, somebody got to get it. Hmm. This is why I don't like using this one. Why is it? Oh boy. That's not it. Hold on. Now I have to narrow it down. Jeez. Here we go. Yeah, it's a way of getting around things. Slakia. Job. Then you got to be 21 then. Job 21 and. Oh, it's not 21? Oh, 23. Yep. Job 27 and 13. This is the portion of the wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of the oppressor, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, so it's not multiply, multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So if any reason why if their numbers increase, which is really going to be in the kingdom, but because we don't have to tear these people apart. But if their numbers have increased, it's for the sword. All right. And there's nothing they can say or do about it. So they could go around and try to police the world and try to sound like, oh, you got to stop. It's okay. You can increase, but that's going to be for your own demise. Because the world sees who you are. The world sees it, and they're not happy. All right. Yeah, you got a lot of insiders. You got a lot of people that's playing your game. You know, they in your secret societies and so forth. But the opportunity comes, they're gonna tear you apart. All right. Now they're gonna tear your asses apart. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nations. Shalom.